Now we want to bring in Phil Andrew, security expert for CBS News Chicago and formerly of the FBI. Phil, thank you for joining us. I want to start by talking about this perimeter. We received an email actually from organizers basically emphasizing to us that this was the way it was supposed to work, that they had this outside perimeter and it was in place in order to make the next step, them actually breaching into the United Center, impossible. But what are your thoughts on whether there were strengths and weaknesses in this plan, particularly when they were able to take fencing down?
Can you hear us, Phil?
Yes.
Phil,
obviously something went wrong in the planning that they didn't have those fencing fully secured. But this looks to be the work of opportunists. And now they're going to draw their attention to folks that are actually doing any kind of agitation around the fencing line. So I find this to be a very minor breach, and that the response was quick, resolute. 4 arrests were made, and we haven't seen any additional issues.
Do you think, Phil, this might it was a test run for some of the agitators, and now they know what they're going to meet, and as a result may not try anything else? Or do you think maybe they've learned something today and we'll try to find another possible way in?
My take on this, that it was disorganized. These weren't necessarily professional protesters, but I think that threat will continue to exist. The most important thing is to remember the vast majority of these folks are here to make their voices heard, to demonstrate their First Amendment rights. And there's a very few folks that are in these crowds that are coming here to agitate and actually break the law. A lot of intelligence work has gone into identifying those folks. And as this goes on, police are going to be able to act on that more quickly and advantage some of the intelligence that they're developing as well.
Phil, when the protests first started, it was pretty much entirely peaceful, and we saw the officers on bikes walking with them, and that evolved, of course, into the riot gear. If you were handling a situation like this and you saw it escalate, would this be the tactic that you would use? We were talking earlier about wanting, the appearance of the riot gear could in some way incite the crowd. So starting with a more peaceful look and waiting to bring in, say, like the National Guard until you absolutely have to. Is that the type of approach that you would take as well?
Yes, absolutely. This needs a scaled response, and you don't need riot police to maintain peace at a peaceful rally, right? But having them in the wings and available, and then deploying them very effectively where you do see the need or criminal activity that you need to protect, to prevent. So like this scaled kind of version of using the different departments and the different kinds of law enforcement that have been trained to respond to things in different ways, and scaling that in as you respond to specific circumstances is absolutely part of the plan, and smart on the PD's part.
All right. Phil, thank you so much, as always, for your insight and your time. We will see what happens moving forward in the week, but I think, as our reporter Tara Molina put it earlier tonight, this shouldn't be the headline, what happened in that one small incident, because it was small. It was, in the grand scheme of things, an offshoot and just a small group. The vast majority of the protesters today stick to the path, and it was peaceful for the most part.
Right.
Phil, thanks again.
Thank you.